Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another Marvel Legendary video. This one we have the unboxing here of Heroes of Asgard. So I just got it in the mail. I took the plastic off on already. So let's take a look. Haven't even opened it yet. Rulebook, cards. That's gonna be it in there. So I have only looked at the one preview, so I know that like throne artifacts are back, and I know like some of the heroes and stuff, but that's pretty much all I know about the set. So let's we'll look at the rules first. I'm gonna not read everything like I normally do. I'll let you guys, like, if you want to like read it. If I get to focus, I'll let you guys read it. Let's focus. The struggle that I always have with this stuff. All right, here we go. So, oh, no, almost, there we go. So I'll just move by paragraph. So you can pause that if you want to read it. We're going down to worthy. Okay, so it says you're worthy if you have a hero that costs 5 or more. So, let's see. So as usual, the phrase your heroes and heroes you have include both cards in your hand and cards you've played this turn. They also include hero artifacts you control. When you consider whether to recruit a card that asks you to be worthy, you may find yourself hesitating, wondering whether you truly have enough to prove worthy at the crucial moment. So it also includes hero artifacts you control. So if you have artifacts sitting out, it counts. Alright, we've got artifacts, which we know that they come from Guardians of the Galaxy. Throne artifacts, they come from what is it, Fear itself. So you put to throw an artifact, you put it on the bottom of your deck, and then you do its ability. And then we have villainous weapons. So each villain group in this set includes cards that say villainous weapon. These are not villains. When a villainous weapon is played from the villain deck, the weapon is captured by a villain in the city that is closest to the deck. If there's no villains, then KO'd weapon instead. Let me get that here to focus. Maybe? Okay. And then it says, oh, hello. Sorry guys, this is, okay. So villainous weapons empower the villain holding them, adding the attack bonus printed on the weapon. Tuck the weapon under the card. An enemy can use many weapons, number of weapons, at the same time, getting all the bonuses combined. When a villain with any number of weapons escapes the city, the mastermind captures all those weapons in their attack bonus. Ooh, that'll be rough. And then it says, when you fight a villain or mastermind holding in any number of weapons, put all those weapons into your discard pile as artifacts. So they're like cards that, okay, interesting. So similarly, when you like get like some villains that you fight, I'm so sorry this is blurry. Okay, some villains that you fight, they become your heroes later on. These go into your discard pile as artifacts. You never get the weapons printed attack bonus when you play the artifact or control it. Only villains and masterminds get the attack bonus. You can get you get only the specific artifact ability. Villainous weapons you have captured as artifacts have 0 cost, have no color or hero class, and oh, it was focused for a second. It was focused for a second. Since they have no cost, bonus weapons can never make you worthy. How appropriate. Oh, Conquer. So Conquer is here. So that's from the Phase 1. That's from the Phase 1 box. So Conquer says things like Conquer a bridge, Conquer 2. This means, or 3, I'm sorry. This means this gets +3 while any villain is in the bridge. So the villain gets a bonus while itself is in the bridge or another villain's on the bridge. Other villains and the Hela mastermind have different Conquer abilities with different bonus numbers they're referring to. Okay. Some heroes also have the ability like Conquer, Rooftops Conquer 1, which likewise you get +1 if any villains are on the rooftop. Okay, so let's take a look. That's the brief little summary there of the words. Let's break this up. We've got Thor. We've got Beta Ray Bill. We got Valkyrie. We've got Lady Sif. This would have been good for the first set. And we got the Warriors 3. Alright, so we'll take a look at the heroes first. We'll start off with Thor. So we have Thor's first common here, Test of Virtue. It's a 2 recruit, 3 cost card, and if you're worthy, you get +2 attack. So I like that's pretty good. We've got here Divine Lightning Thor. You get +1 for each other card you played this turn that makes you worthy. So if the artifact being out makes you worthy, you only get the +1 the turn you played it. So if you have an artifact chilling that's 5 or higher, you won't just constantly be worthy from the play. It has to be you playing it that turn. That's the turn it counts. We've got Mjolnir, which is his uncommon. It is so it says you cannot throw Mjolnir unless you're worthy. Okay. Oh, focus please. Throw an artifact. When you borrow this, when you throw this, you get +3 attack. Then you get +1 for each other blue hero you've played this turn. Interesting. And it's a 4 cost uncommon, which usually uncommons are 5 or higher. So that's really interesting that you can't like be worthy. You can't just have it and then be worthy. So you have to play a card to make yourself worthy. Oh, and this common's 5. Interesting. Okay, interesting. This is funny because like they're higher cost cards and the base Thor is mostly recruit. So it's an interesting thing that they did. We've got Royal Decree, his rare. So this here says it's 5 attack. And then if you play an Asgard hero, Heroes of Asgard, each player who is worthy draws a card. Each player that isn't and then each villain that isn't worth at least 5 victory points gets -1 this turn. Interesting. So you can if you play this, you'll get to draw a card yourself because you're worthy. It says each player, not each other. And then if anybody's worth less victory points than 5, you get to knock them down a point of attack. It's pretty good. I like it. All right, so we've got Hope of the Corbinites, which is Beta Ray Bill's first card. So it's a 1 cost. Okay, hello. It's 2 recruit. To play this card, you must discard a card. Then if you're worthy, draw a card. So it's got interesting. I like that. It's 1 cost, so like early game, it'll be good. And then if you're worthy, you get the card back. You get the card back if you discard, so you get a card back. All right, here's his other common. Oh, it's a tech hero. If it'll focus, man. You may discard a card. If you do, this one is Bioengineering Cyborg. So if you discard a card, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So clearly that's his kind of thing is going to be about. It's 3 attack, which is pretty good. We've got Stormbreaker. Okay, so we've got Thor's card, his uncommon Mjolnir, his uncommon Stormbreaker. And you can't throw Stormbreaker unless you're worthy. Okay, interesting. It's also 4 costs, just like Mjolnir is. Throw an artifact. To throw this, you must discard a card from your hand. Then you get +2 for each card you discarded from your hand this turn. So you'll at least get 2 attack off of it, if not more. But for these cards, you'll get to play them, and then you can discard a card, draw, and then because it's 5, you're worthy, and then you can throw this, and then you can discard a card, and then you can get. So that's kind of a cool thing. And then finally, we have Warship Scuttlebutt. It's 4 attack, 8 cost. Let me see if this focuses here. Okay, you may discard a card, then count the number of cards you discarded from your hand this turn, draw that many cards. So, pretty good. He would actually be good with villains because of the dodge ability, because you're discarding card, you can discard and draw. So, he'd actually be interesting in the villain set. I'm not going to mix them. I know somebody's going to ask, but I'm not going to mix them, but he would be interesting. All right, so let's take a look here at Valkyrie. So Valkyrie here is her first common Dragon Fang. It's throw an artifact, and when you throw this, you get Sewers Conquer 2. So when you throw it, if a villain's in the sewers, you get 2 attack. So pretty straightforward. It's very likely to happen because sewers is first. Flying Stallion's her second common. We've got a Rooftops Conquer 1. When an ambush ability is played before it takes effect, you may discard this card. If you do, draw 2 cards at the end of your turn. So cool. So got a good utility. If rooftops are full, it's 3 attack. If not, it's 2 attack, which is pretty good. And then you can discard this card and just draw 2 extra cards if an ambush effect comes out. Next, we have for her uncommon, we have Usher to Valhalla. So it's bridge, conquer 1. So if the villain's on the bridge, you get +1. And then you play a hero of Asgard. And the first time you defeat a villain this turn, you may KO one of your cards or a card from your discard pile. So it's pretty good. Always nice to get rid of stuff. And then finally we have Ride of Valkyries. It's a 7 recruit, 4 attack. Streets, conquer 1. So if the street's full, you get 1 attack. And then if you play a yellow hero, you get +1 for every 4 heroes in the KO pile. Oh, that's awesome. I like that because then yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. All right, so now we have Lady Sif. We've got Lady Sif's first common here. It is Dimensional Blade. So it's a thrown artifact. When you throw this, you get 1 attack, 1 recruit. I like that. That's really good. We get Weapons Master as our next common. If you control any artifacts, you get +2. So that's really nice. And it's interesting because these cards are like high cost commons. It's interesting. We got Winged Helm as her uncommon. So throw an artifact. You may throw this. Okay, you may throw this to get +1 attack. And then during any player's turn, if a player would gain a wound, you may throw this to prevent that wound and draw 2 cards instead. Now that's dope. I actually would probably keep that for the wound removal. And if you notice too, these artifacts are all less than 5. So you can't. So I think like the only ones you'd have to, unless the Warriors 3 have 1, then none of these artifacts from the set will let you be worthy from them being in play. So you'd have to use the ones from the from Guardians, which I think the only one is Star-Lord has 1. So I don't know. Maybe there's another one that I'm missing, but Star-Lord has that one that's a 6, I think. Her rare is Golden Apples of Idun. This one's a thrown artifact, so this one will do it. So I spoke too soon. So this is a thrown artifact. When you throw this, you get +4, and you may KO a card from your hand or discard pile. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's pretty good. But that's one that will make you worthy if it's sitting in play. All right, we've got the Warriors 3. So we got Fandral, the dashing. He's 2 attack, 3 cost. You may move a villain to an adjacent space. So, and then if the one's already there, you can swap them. And if you play a red hero, you get to draw a card. So I'm wondering if they're all different colors. We've got Hogan the Grim. He's red. So he's 2 recruit, 4 cost. If you play a green hero, you may KO a card from your hand or discard pile. I like it. So I'm guessing that this dude's green. Yep. And his abilities, yeah. We've got Volstagg the Valiant. So he's got Bridge Conquer 1. If it'll focus. And then if I play a yellow hero, he's got Bridge Conquer 3. So he'll be good to like help prevent a card from escaping because he could be, he could be really strong. So that's cool that they're all different colors, that they bounce off of each other for being different colors. And of course, this is only 3 greens. They made the rare green. 3 stand is 1. This set's 4 attack. If you played at least 3 other non-gray heroes with different card names, this turn you get +3 attack, and then you also have Streets Conquer 3 for playing Hero of Asgard. So if you played at least 3 other non-gray heroes with different card names. So I'm guessing like one of each of them would work if you played at least 3 other heroes, non-gray heroes with different card names this turn. So different card names. So you could do, this is like pan-dimensional or dimensional Blade and Fandral, and then you could do, Ride of the Valkyrie, because they're different card names and they're all non-gray. So that's what you could do. Okay, cool. So they're the heroes. Let's take a look at the first villain group here, which is this one. Yep, this one. Let me kind of separate them. Okay. Separate those there, and then we got our schemes. Okay, cool. So here's the first group. It's going to be Dark Conch, C-O-U-N. Oh no, Dark Council. I thought that was an H. Dark Council. Okay, so this is Ulik the Troll. Ulik gets +2 if you are not worthy. Fight KO any heroes. Pretty straightforward. If you have a 5 cost card, then he's easy peasy. Maybe if it'll focus. All right. 2 of those. We've got Cinder, Fire Giant Queen. It's 5 attack, and then fight. If you're worthy, you get +2 recruit. So, don't know why I have a hard time. This thing has a hard time focusing. I don't know if it's because of the light or what the problem is. Let me try to turn this light off. I don't know if it's helping. I'm so sorry, guys. I wanted to get this out as quick as possible, and I'm having issues with my camera. Alright, next we have Laufey, father of Loki. This is that frost giant. So he's 6 attack. He's worth 4 victory points. Can I get this to focus? Okay, ambush. Laufey captures the Casket of Eternal Winters from any villain, mastermind, player control, or discard pile. So this must be one of the things in here. And then escape if Laufey holds the Casket of Ancient Winters. Say Fimble Winter has come, and each player discards down to 3 cards. That's pretty funny. Okay, we got Man Dog. 3 attack. Man Dog gets +1 for each villain in the victory pile of the player on your right. And then escape. Each player who is not worthy gains a wound. So he just gets really strong. So you want to hopefully get him early. And then we have Villainous Weapon here. It's Yarnborn, First Axe of Thor. So it's a Villainous Weapon, so a villain's going to get it and get +3. And then it's a thrown artifact. When you throw this, you get +3 attacks. It's pretty straightforward. And we have the Casket of the Ancient Winters. So it's 4 +4 for whatever villain has it. And then it's artifact. Will it focus? Okay, if you're worthy, you get +2 recruit. So pretty cool. I'm really excited to play with these the thrown artifacts, because I played with them in Fear itself, but I haven't played a lot of villains. So all right, we got Skurd as the Executioner. This is for Omens of Ragnarok as the villain group. So bridge, conquer 3, and then if you fight, KO one of your heroes. So it's only 2 victory points, but if somebody's in the bridge, it's 7. So that's actually it can be pretty strong for how little points it's worth. We got the Fenris Wolf, streets, conquer 2, and then ambush. Fenris Wolf moves forward to the rooftops, pushing any of the villains towards as normal. So it'll skip to the rooftops. It'll go to the rooftops, and then next turn it'll be in the streets. So it'll likely push somebody into the streets. It's like what's that ability from Secret Wars that pushes them? You know what I'm talking about. The one master Hyperion's whole deal is that, where like he comes out and pushes forward. I forget what it's called. I'll remember it randomly later. We've got Surtur, Fire Giant King. I like the artwork here. 6 attack. Fight. Put this into your discard pile as Surtur's Crown artifact. And escape if Surtur was holding the Eternal Flame. Say Ragnarok has come. KO one each Asgard hero from the HQ, and each player gains 2 wounds. And then its artifact, once per turn, you get Surtur's Conquer 1. So interesting. Okay. What is that ability? I'm like so stuck on it. It's what is the ability where they push? What is it? I'm gonna have to look at it. I don't know. I'll think about it later. I'll look at it later. You guys, somebody's gonna probably say in the comments. You'll know it. Okay, so we have here is Jormungand, the World Serpent. When I play this card, I'm just gonna say the World Serpent because I don't think I'm saying any of that right. It's 5 attack. And then Sewers 1. Oh, geez. Each hero on the HQ costs 1 or less this turn when you fight it. So it's conquer every single space. So it's at least 6 attack, because it's going to be, if it's the only villain out there, it's going to occupy a space and be +1 attack. But it could be as strong as 10. Okay, that's kind of rough. But then each hero costs 1 less than the HQ when you beat it. Okay, we got the Hell Crown. This is from Hela. So weapon, villainous weapon, and then once per turn you get Streets Conquer 1 if you get it. And then finally you have the Eternal Flame. Villainous weapon, ambush. If Surtur is in the city, he captures the Eternal Flame. If a player controls Surtur's Crown, that card enters the city as a villain. If a player controls Surtur's Crown, that card enters enters the city as the villain Surtur and captures the Eternal Flame. And then it's an artifact once per turn. Return a 0-cost card from your discard pile to your hand, which could be a thrown artifact. Wait, if Surtur is in the city, he captures it. If a player controls Surtur's crown... Oh, Surtur's crown's this card. Okay. It'll be kind of confusing, but we'll figure it out when we're playing it. Okay. What is that? What is that ability? I'm losing my mind. All right, I'm gonna figure it out. Sorry, there's a bit of a detour here. All right, let's take a look at since we looked at Dark Council, we'll look at Malekith, the Accursed. I'm so salty right now. I don't remember this word. It is charge. There it is. Jeez. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, we have Malekith here, the Accursed. So he's always leads Dark Council. We knew that. His Master Strike is 8 attack. Master Strike captures a villainous weapon from the city or any player control or discard pile. Then the Master Strike enters the city as a villainous weapon called a Dark Spear that gets +2. When you gain a Dark Spear, it becomes a thrown artifact that gives you 2 attack when thrown. Interesting. So you can get the Dark Spear. Interesting. So he'll always be able to get artifacts. And then here's his epic side. So he's 10 attack. He captures a villainous weapon from the city, then captures 1 from any player's control or discard pile. And then the Master Strike enters the city as a villainous weapon called a Dark Spear that gives +3. And when you gain the Dark Spear, it becomes a thrown artifact that's +2. So his regular side, he just gets a villainous artifact from the city or any player's control or discard pile. And then the Master Strike comes out as a Dark as a Dark Spear. And then that gives +2. And then when you get it, it's thrown artifact that's +2. But on his epic side, he gets 2 thrown artifacts. He gets 1 from the city, and then captures 1 from any player's control or discard pile. So he'll get 2 potentially. And then the villainous, his Dark Spears on his epic side are 3 attack, and then they only give you 2 when you get them. So that stays the same. Okay, sorry. So there's a lot to unpack here. Oop, I got this new thing, and I'm already bumping it. And I said I wasn't going to bump into it. All right, so we've got the first one here is Dagger of Living Abyss. So it's fight, rescue 4 bystanders, and Malekith captures a villainous weapon from the city or any player's control or discard pile. Then this tactic enters the city as a villainous weapon, and then when you get it as an artifact, once per turn, you may defeat a villain with 2 victory points or less. So he only has 1 tactic that goes to your victory pile. No points. Okay, the Hunting Horn of Fairy, which is his second tactic. It is fight, rescue 4 bystanders, and Malekith captures a villainous weapon from the city or any other player's control or discard pile. Then this enters the city as a villainous weapon. And then artifact, once per turn, draw a card. So that's nice because you get to draw an extra card every turn. We got Black Hammer of the Accursed. So this one's going to be focus. Okay, rescue 4 bystanders. Malekith captures a villainous weapon. Okay, and it enters the city as a villainous weapon. Artifact, once per turn, you may KO a card from your discard pile or hero from your discard pile. That's awesome. That's incredible. And then finally, we have vulnerable to cold iron. Fight, you get +2 recruit for each tech hero you have. Interesting. So that's pretty straightforward. But anyway, there's that. Next, we have Hela, Mastermind Hela. So she's 10+ attack. And then, let's see if I can get this to focus here. So Hela, Goddess of Death. Bridge Conquer 5, Streets Conquer 5. Holy moly. So if anybody's in the bridge or anybody's in the streets, she gets 5 attack. Holy cow. Omens of Ragnarok as her always leads. And then a Master Strike as a strike enters the city as a 5 Army of Dead villain worth 3 victory points. Then choose a villain worth 3 victory points or more from your victory pile, including an Army of Dead, to enter the city. If you didn't have any, each player gains a wound. Holy cow. So Strike comes out. It's a villain. It's a 5 attack villain called Army of Dead, worth 3 victory points. Then you choose a villain worth 3 victory points from your, or 3 victory points or more from your victory pile, including an Army of Dead. So is that what it's saying? Including... Is it saying like and an army of dead and something else, or just? I think it means an army of dead as well as the strike. And enters the city, and if you don't have, holy moly, that's gonna 3 Oh man, she's gonna be hard. All right, so let's take a look at the first here. Hela's cloak is her first tactic here. If it'll focus here. Rescue 4 bystanders. Hela's cloak becomes a villainous weapon, and then when you get it as an artifact, it says once per turn you may gain a wound. Once per turn once during each player's turn, if you would gain a wound, you may draw a card instead. So once during each player's turn, if you were to gain a wound, so once per turn, if you gain a wound, you get to draw a card instead. That's nice. We've got the Knight Sword. Same deal, rescue 4 bystanders, and it becomes a villainous weapon. Throw an artifact. When you throw this, you get bridge conquer 3. So you just hold it until somebody's at the bridge, throw it, and you got 3 attack. And then this one's just a regular tactic here. Seize Bifrost, the Rainbow Bridge. Fight, reveal the top card of the villain deck. Reveal the top card of the villain deck. If it's a villain, the villain enters the bridge or the streets. If one of those spaces are empty. Ooh, rough. Finally, we have Naglfar, Longship of Fingernails. Nagflar, I don't know how to say that. 10. Oh yeah, it's a tactic. The player on your right reveals the villain from the victory pile that's worth the most victory points. That villain enters the street or bridge if those spaces are empty. Bro. So it would be yourself. So the highest victory point cost villain would enter the streets or the bridge if they're empty. Man, she seems like she's gonna be hard. All right, and last but not least, we have. Oh, I didn't look at her epic side. Let's look at her epic side real quick. So she's 12. She's Conquer 6, Rooftop. Oh man, Bridge Conquer, Street Conquer, Rooftop Conquer 6. So she could potentially be 30. She could potentially be 30 attack. Then the strike enters the city as a 6 army of dead villain worth 4 victory points. Then choose a villain worth 4 victory points or more from your victory pile, including an army of dead, to enter the city. If you didn't have any, each player gains a wound. Holy cow! We got to do a playthrough. Not part of the MCU, but we got to do a playthrough that involves fighting epic Hela. It's gonna be crazy. All right, so then here's the first scheme here. It says Asgardian Test of Worth, 11 twists. Twists 1 through 7. Each player who is not worthy discards a card. Then, if at least half the players round up are not worthy, put the twist next to the scheme as a moral failing. Twists 8 through 11. Put this twist next to the scheme as a moral failing. And then when there are 5 moral failings, evil wins. So each player who is not worthy discards a card. Then if at least half the players are not worthy, put a twist next to the scheme. So you have to be worthy, or you're basically going to put a twist next to the scheme. Because half the players on single would be 1, but you round it up to 1. So, yeah, you'd have to just put 1 in there. Okay. I'll have to look at the rules to see if there's any adjustments to any of these. All right. So we have War of the Frost Giants. It says 9 twists, twist 1 through 7. This was enters the city as a frost giant invader, villain worth 60 points and 6 attack, and the ability, if you are not worthy, this gets +4. Twist 8 and 9, same effect, then frost giant invader. Then same effect, then a frost giant invader from each player's victory pile enters the city, and then evil wins when there are 5 invaders in the city and or escape pile. Okay. I think this Asgardian Test of Worth would have been good for the first MCU Thor movie playthrough. We've got Dark World of Svartalfheim. The Dark World. This will probably be what we use for Dark World, of course. So it's 10 twists. Twist, put this card next to the city. Put this twist next to a city space or HQ space that doesn't already have one as an Eternal Darkness. Villains in the city space with this Eternal Darkness get +1. To recruit a hero in a space with Eternal Darkness, you must pay 1 extra recruit. And then when all spaces or all HQ spaces are covered in Eternal Darkness, evil wins. So the idea is you're going to have to spread it out between them all. And then when it says when all city spaces or all HQ spaces are covered in Eternal Darkness. So by the 9th twist, you'll lose the game. So we'll probably do that one for the Thor the Dark World, and then of course Ragnarok, Twilight of the Gods will probably be for Thor Ragnarok. So we've got 11 twists. Choose a villain from the victory pile. Choose a villain from your victory pile worth at least 2 victory points to enter the city. Then if the total attack of the villains in the city space is at least as high as the Guardian attack listed, put the twist next to the scheme as Guardian defeated. When there are 5 Guardians defeated. Okay, so let's see. You choose a villain from your victory pile worth at least 2 victory points to enter the city. And then it says, then if the total attack of villains in the city is at least as high as the Guardian listed, put the twist next to the scheme as a Guardian defeated. So first scheme comes out, you put a villain from your victory pile, boom, put it in there. If the added up attack in the city is equal to 11 or more, that's a Guardian defeated. So twist 2 would be Odin, so it has to be equal to 24 or more, and so on. And then the last one's Warriors of Valhalla, so 6. So those are more likely to get put aside. So that's a very interesting scheme. So that's going to be it for guys. The sun just came out and messed up my lighting. That's going to be it, guys. That's going to be the new set. I will be releasing, instead of a Hero of Asgard's playthrough, the sun is just messing up my whole deal. Instead of a Hero of Asgard's playthrough, I will be doing the MCU set for next week. That way, because a lot of it's going to be the same, so we're just going to do that instead. So that way we can get back on track on the MCU, and then we can do what's after Thor the Dark World. Is it Captain America, the Winter Soldier? Anyway, we'll talk about it when we get to that point. Anyway, as always, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.